Okay, here's Twice Gold. And Twice Gold is having his very first post-track ride today. This horse is absolutely stunning. He is so easy on the eyes. He is just absolutely glowing. And I'm so happy he's in my barn. He is around 17 hands. I meant to stick him, and of course I forgot. I needed to stick three horses today, and I remembered to stick one of them. So pretty terrible job of remembering to put the stick on horses, but he's very big. So he's around 17 hands. Maybe he's a little bit under or a little bit over, but I'm going to say 17 hands is the marker he's going to hit. And he's quite big bodied, and I'm sure he has a bunch more filling out to do. So, very large horse, but actually very comfortable. I really enjoyed his ride today. He's a 7 year old. He had 31 career starts, which actually is a very moderate number for a 7 year old. He made $116,000 on the track, and his last start was May 2nd, so just a couple of weeks ago. And he actually did come right off the track after his last start. He's been hanging out at my friend Jody's farm, getting some nice let down turnout time while we waited for some space to free up at my place. And now here he is. He came over the weekend, but I was away at the Virginia Horse Center over the weekend, and anyway, it was pouring for like a week straight. So then I got back. It took me a couple days to get everything organized and get everyone going. And then Billy was away. Anyway, it's just been crazy between the weather and both our schedules. But so here I am finally having my first sit on him today, and he was just absolutely lovely. I mean, I think I have pretty low expectations for horses on their first post track rides. You want them to have a positive experience. If they come out with anxiety, you want to try and help them to be less stressed out. You want them to steer and go where you ask them to go, and you don't want to get bucked off. And those are basically my standards. And he was just absolutely excellent. He went around the horse just like a super laid back, happy to plod around type of guy. He actually was funny. He takes quite a bit of leg. I tried to get him to trot a few times and sort of failed before I realized just how much leg it was going to take to get this engine going. And then once I got him in front of my leg, he pretty much stayed there. But sometimes I think I override them a little bit when I feel like they're a little bit on the slower side. I think sometimes I override them because I'm trying to sort of make my point to get them going forward, but I might take it a touch too far sometimes. Anyway, that was a very long winded way of saying that he is very much for somebody who wants to get to put their leg on and send their horse forward. And next time I'll certainly be riding him with some little spurs. He was really good about wanting to find the roundness, as you could just see in that trot work. But I certainly could have him a lot straighter and softer over his top line with a little bit of spurs on to help my case, I think. He did some very nice canter transitions there. So that first time I asked him to canter, that's the first time I've asked him to canter at all. It's not like we did this first not taking video and then went back did it with the video. That was his first canter transition. And even though he picked up the right lead, and of course I ideally want the left, I was thrilled with it because he actually did a beautifully balanced, clean canter depart. And he came away from it in just a very quiet, settled canter. So I wanted to let him canter a couple of steps to feel like he got the reward from that nice transition before I brought him back to the trot to ask for the left, because actually I loved everything about it. And on their first post track ride, we're really not yet detailed enough to be on their case about one specific lead or another. It's great if they can do that, and most of the time they can, but this is just sort of testing the water, seeing what we're working with, and I was just thrilled that he wanted to do a good canter transition. I don't really care which lead he wants to pick up at this point. But then he was a super smart boy, and he let me sort of just change the balance and the bend a little bit, and he popped right into the left canter, so that was excellent. I do think he's your very typical right off the track thoroughbred who finds the left flexion just a little bit easier than the right now. Here, I feel like I overrode the tempo just a little bit, but he didn't seem bothered by me. He has a very good attitude, and he feels like he has a very quiet mind. He was also, as you would expect from a 7-year-old, but still, it's always nice when they're mature about things. Like, he's very straight for a horse who's right off the track. You know, it's not like we've got one big tilt on one shoulder or another. He was very professional about the mounting block, no sort of wanting to drift back towards the gate. I mean, just very classy boy for his first ride today. And that was an excellent right lead canter transition again. It is funny though how, everything is not so black and white. Like he finds the left flexion a little bit easier than the right. However, actually, his canter transitions are a little better to the right, and he's actually a little bit more inclined to pick up the right canter, which is all just, all just little tidbits of information. And he's going here in a soft rubber straight bar. It's the Trust Inno full cheek snaffle. And that certainly felt like more than enough bit for him. So there he in the same spot both times he wanted to swap his lead behind, which just tells me that I'm losing some part of the straightness there. When they want to do the same thing in the same spot every time, so that means that you are lacking some sort of straightness or strength, or I'm losing some piece of him, and which is throwing the balance and why I'm getting the swap behind. It's not indicative of anything except for the fact that he just needs, training and strengthening. And then what is so cool about this horse is that he's so big and beautiful, and he is a nice mover. And you can also just literally ride him around on the buckle. He's really a very quiet-brained horse. He does not want to work any harder or faster than you want him to. And he should be a super fun, easy project for somebody to develop. And obviously, he will turn heads everywhere he goes. He's just absolutely gorgeous. And then the last little piece here is of him on crossed ice. He's very good on the ground. He's friendly. He wants to be around people. He absolutely loves peppermints. He leads in and out very politely. He's a big horse, but he's not strong or bullish at all on the ground. And he's been excellent. I'm just thrilled to have him in the barn.